Coffee. Well, coffee is entirely reshaping hospitality strategy. It is completely transforming these underutilized hotel lobbies into vibrant lifestyle destinations. And in the process, it's driving immense new revenue streams. Seriously, just think about it for a second. When was the last time you actually chose a hotel just for its coffee? Probably never, right? Traditionally, hotel coffee has been viewed purely as a morning utility. It was just an afterthought, a push button machine shoved in the corner, or a lukewarm urn sitting at the breakfast buffet. But that's perception. It is completely outdated. Today's guests are arriving with incredibly sophisticated palates, and they are expecting an experience that matches what they get at their favorite local specialty cafe. So, to understand why the hospitality industry is suddenly taking this so seriously, we have to look at the financial stakes. $122 billion. That is the projected global value of the specialty coffee market by the end of the year 2026. This isn't just some niche trend for coffee snobs anymore. It's a massive, dominant global market force, and hotels that ignore it are literally leaving serious money on the table. And the crowd driving this? Well, their priorities might actually surprise you. A staggering 38% of the millennials and Gen Zs are now actively choosing their hotels, partly because of the curated food and beverage experiences. Exactly like the specialty coffee. For this generation, coffee is just caffeine. It's an aesthetic, it's a cultural touch point. And honestly, it's a non negotiable part of their travel lifestyle. And here's where we see an immediate return on investment for operators. We're looking into a 3 times increase in lobby dwell time just by having a curated coffee bar present. Think about it, what this actually means for a second. Instead of grabbing a quick cup and retreating straight back to their rooms, guests are lingering where they are working, they are socializing, and most importantly, they are ordering more items throughout the day. It's basically turning into a dead transit zone to a highly profitable hub. So, all right, let's see the roadmap for today. We'll start why coffee is the new cocktail. Let's examine some global trends that are shaping 2026, look at tailoring to the brand, activating the experiencing, and finally a 90-day rollout. So, why coffee is a new cocktail elevating this experience? We are witnessing this fundamental shift in consumer psychology right now. Specialty coffee, it literally commands the exact same reverence, education, and ritual that we used to strictly reserve for fine wine and craft cocktails. Just as you might discuss a terroir of a Bordeaux wine, today's guests are discussing the elevation and the processing methods of single origin beans. Contrast the vast empty dead space of traditional lobby, these highly sensory lifestyle driven third places. When a guest walks in, they aren't just seeking a front desk anymore. They see a gleaming espresso machine, a visible grinder, a beautifully designed pastry cases. They are instantly hit with the aroma of the freshly roasted beans, creating an incredible theater like aesthetic that immediately signals a premium quality literal second they roll on their luggage through the front doors. So, global trends that shape 2026 from wellness to raves. Just look at the sheer volume and diversity of the micro trends happening right now. I mean, coffee is definitely no longer just a hot drink in the mug. It seamlessly bridges these entirely different lifestyle categories. We have a protein coffee intersecting with gym culture, adaptogen, and mushroom coffees. Yes, literal mushrooms in your morning coffee. Riding the massive functional wellness wave, and coffee cocktails like the espresso martinis leading a huge global cocktail comeback. It's an incredible versatile ingredient. Okay, one of the absolutely most fascinating concept that is emerging here is coffee rave. This is just a brilliant example of completely redefining morning occasion. Imagine a pre-dawn dance event, maybe up a hotel rooftop or down in the ballroom, fueled entirely by specialty coffee and good energy. Zero alcohol, no hangovers whatsoever. Originating in London, this whole conscious clubbing movement is spreading globally, and it's attracting young professionals and wellness travelers who just want a super high energy to the start of the day. And then over on the wellness front, we have these fantastic innovations like cocoa, espresso. Picture this, a rich double espresso poured with ice cold fresh coconut water, finished with a pinch of Himalayan salt. It's a hydration forward, incredibly rich in electrolytes, and just perfectly tailored for the modern wellness traveler arriving at a resort or maybe recovering from a long light flight or a red eye flight. It's highly sensory, it's super healthy, and yeah, it's definitely highly photogenic. Tailoring to the brand is extremely important because we have to avoid one size fit all approach. The source materials highlights this exact contrast perfectly. Look, while coffee is universal, The strategy absolutely cannot be. A single generic copy paste coffee program just does not work for every hotel tier. On one hand, you have a brand like the Courtyard. The guest is usually a traveler seeking absolute reliability and quick energy, so their programming features self service, cold brew on a tap, fast, high quality, and total frictionless. But on contrast, that with the luxury brands like a St. Regis or a Ritz Carlton, here it is all about a ritual and bespoke luxury. They elevate the whole experience with table sized Japanese siphon service, guided with dedicated coffee certified sommelier. It's just the same ingredient, but an entirely different psychological delivery. Which brings us to the section of activating experience and day to night programming. So the big question is, how does one actually take these beautifully designed lobby spaces and program into so they are generating revenue from dawn until well past dusk? Well, the sources map out pretty brilliant metrics for food and beverage directors here. It covers from 7 a.m. in the morning all the way to the late night bar, categorizing drinks from non-alcoholic, low ABV, and alcoholic. This really shows how innovative programming drives continuous revenue. At breakfast, you might offer a protein cold brew. By midday, it may just be a refreshing espresso tonic. Pre-dinner shifts into a cold brew sharp mocktail. And then post-dinner transitions into a classic espresso martini or a cold brew old-fashioned. You're capturing the guest's attention and their wallet literally every single touch point of the day. And that's these activations that go well beyond just the menu. Consider a beautifully executed 45-minute sunrise yoga session out at the hotel terrace, immediately followed by a premium cocktail crew, a brew, or a cocoa espresso coffee. This shows exactly how food and beverage can successfully cross-pollinate with local community wellness partners, so you aren't just selling and drink anymore. You're actually curating a memorable lifestyle experience, and the guests are going to rave about it and for sure post it on their social media as well. Then, as we move on to evening hours, programming becoming highly theatrical. I mean, imagine a completely replacing the traditional, let's be honest, maybe slightly dated dinner desert trolley with a roaming tableside coffee cocktail cart. A bartender shaking up espresso martinis right next to your table. Or consider a nitrogen cold brew bar set up right in the lobby, serving nitro coffee on the tap with flavored syrups, cream toppers. It is visually stunning, it's interactive, and it creates a vibe that actually makes the guest want to stick around. And if you talk about a 90-day rollout from blueprint to reality, it's really how we see the vision and how to practically execute the ambitious strategy in your own space without completely overwhelming your team. The source materials details this incredible four-step phase approach because you just don't flip the switch overnight. First, you audit your current offerings and partner, hopefully, with the local micro roasters. Secondly, you carefully build your brand specific menu. Third, you launch your specific lobby activations. And finally, you measure the response and evolve. Doing it this way ensures a team confidence, operation smoothness long before the massive guest launch. And honestly, the best part is that you can start building the momentum immediately without some quick wins designed literally from day one. We are talking about simply ordering a high-quality single origin beans from a respectable local roaster, or adding a super easy-to-execute espresso tonic or cold brew that exists in your lobby menu. Even just by printing out a single origin story cards, placing next to your coffee stations to help educate the guests. These are immediate, high impact that require practically very less massive capital investment, yet they instantly elevate the guest perception of your brand and your coffee. Which brings to your final thought of the day today. As an operator, as a hotelier, really even just as a keen observer of guest experiences, you kind of have to ask yourself, will your lobby remain quite purely transactional dead space that guests just pass through? Or will it leverage the incredible power of specialty coffee to transform into a city's great, thriving, revenue-generating destination? That $122 billion opportunity is sitting right there, waiting just to be poured. Thank you very much for joining me on The Explainer, and I'll catch you in the next one. Good day.